Hello everyone. Let's now discuss the problems now. So this is Dsa Og Masterclass. We'll be discussing some problems and also some topics, right? So this was just the practice or before the live, right? Okay. So we'll be starting with the arrays first. What are arrays and when we'll be using these arrays, right? So after that, let's go with the next steps. But before, let us go with the arrays, right? Okay, let us start our session right now. So first thing is we are having these arrays. Let me write it clearly. So yes, so arrays. We'll be starting with arrays. In that, we'll be discussing about second largest element and second largest element in an array, and then we'll be solving the two sum problem. This two sum problem is asked in many companies, right? So this will be more helpful for you. Now let's go with the arrays initialization and all, right? Now the first thing the first thing is how can we declare the array. But before that, let us understand what is an array, right? So just imagine you are in a bus station, right? You are in a bus station and you are having some buses with a number, right? So the first one is 300 and the second one is 288 and the third one is 505 and the fourth one is 5, right? So all these are the bus numbers, right? So what we'll be doing is we just have these bus numbers in a row. So all these are in integer type. Integer type. If you see, these all elements are in integer type. Now the definition of array is a data structure, right? So it is firstly a data structure and and stores homogeneous or same type of elements, same data type elements contiguously in memory blocks, contiguously in memory block. So that means let's take an example and understand this. So imagine you have this 300 and 288 and 505 and 5, right? These are our array elements. Now here the if I give the indices for this, we'll be having 0, 1, 2, 3. These are just the bus numbers, right? Let me initialize this as an array. Fact West, Elanti clear explanation. Thank you so much, bro. Fact West. Thank you for being in the live chat, right? So let us come again with the array. So 300, 288, 505 and 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the array elements and these are the indices, right? Now if I want array of 1, then I can just print that using cout. We can also use this endl to print a new line. This in C++, right? So here we are having the array elements. But the first thing which we need to know is initialization. So many of the members, right? Many of the people initialize this as int array of size 5. That means we can include 5 elements. But if you see, let me take 5, 3, 8, 4, 2. These are the 5 elements in an array. But if you see, if I give the indices 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it is going from 0 to n minus 1, And what is n? N is just, excuse me, n is just 5, right? So we have this array initialization like this. And let me tell you, how can I iterate through the array? So we have done with the initialization. Now let us go with how can we iteration. Now I have 5 elements, right? So I can go till less than n. That's what I'll write here. For int I is equal to 0. Why I am saying that I is equal to 0? Because the indices are starting from 0 instead of 1. So I am starting with 0. I is equal to 0. I is less than n. Now you might ask me why we are placing less than n. Why? Because less than n goes to 4 but not 5. Why? Because 5 is not present. Now if I access array of n, then it will give me a runtime error, right? Why? Because it will give me like a heap buffer overflow, heap buffer overflow. So we are accessing an element which is not present in the memory. So int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and how can we access it? C out array of I, and let's print just a space. Now let me just give this in an online compiler, online C++ compiler. So wait a second, right? We are having this thing. Yes. No. Let us go with array initialization, right? So I am initializing this in array of size 5, right? Now let us just take this as int array is equal to, I'm just declaring it as 505 and 300 and 288 and 5, and let us take this 165, right? These are all the bus numbers in Hyderabad, right? Now let me go through iteration. This is the initialization. If you see, this is the initialization, and the next one is iteration. We are just iterating through the element. I is less than n, but I need to declare the n, right? So I am declaring int n is equal to 5. Now I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, I plus plus, I plus plus, and here I'll just print array of I and a space. Then I'll print a new line. I'm just running this code. Array is equal to requires one element in initializer. Yes. So if you see, I didn't initialize the size of the array, right? So array of 5. Let me just run this again. And let me see, do I have any other errors? Sorry, n is equal to 5 here. Sorry for this mistake. Yes, I have printed every element in the sequence 505, 300, 288, 5 and 165. So here I am having this. But let me go to the array and let me tell you again. Here we can store, first thing, wait a second. First thing, we can store, we can store any type, any data type in the array, right? So it can store int, it can store string, it can also store character, it can also store float, and also it can also store uh, pair pair of int comma int, right? So anything, it can store anything. Now Let me just tell you how can we initialize a 2D array, right? Let me just tell you how can we initialize a 2D array. First thing, so we are having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we are having 0, 1, 2, 3. Let me just take it like this, and the elements are 1, 2, 3, 8, 4, 3, 2, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9. So these are the array elements, right? But let me tell you, this I am considering an array, and for this index or for this row, uh, I am considering this as a row or an array, right? Let me tell you. For 0, I am considering 1, 2, 3, 8. For 1, I am considering 4, 3, 2, and 6. For 2, I am considering 5, 3, 2, 1. And for 3, I am considering 1, 2, 4, and then 3. For 4, I am considering 5, 6, 7, and then 9. So every time this is my vector of int, right? Vector of int. If you see, it is my vector of int. We'll use this vector of int. Why? Because we can just use the pushback operation in C++. Now instead of storing int, instead of storing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, let us store the vector again. So let us store it as vector of vector int, right? So I'm having this as a matrix or a grid. So this is how we store a 2D array. Now we have done with the arrays. Now let us come with the second largest element in an array. Now let us take the question first. Second largest element in an array. Let's take an example to second largest element in an array. So this is an a recently I heard that many people came across this uh, question in recent interviews. So these questions are standard questions. All the questions that I am going to discuss in this live session are standard or frequently asked questions. So let us understand what is asked in this problem. Second largest element in an array. Let's take 1, 3, 4, 8, 8, and 6. Now, what is second largest element, right? Now, we are given with only positive. If I have to say this as a constraint, only positive integers in the array, right? Now I need to know what is the second largest element. Now we can simply go with the brute force solution. What is the brute force solution? We'll just sort the array and return return n minus 2 element, right? Now n minus 1 element will be here and the n minus 2 element will be here, and that will be, I'm assuming that will be the second largest element. Let us see by sorting the array elements. So if I sort that 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and then 8, but if you see, uh, wait a second, n minus 2 element is 8, but the first largest element or the largest element is 8, and also the second largest element, I'm saying it as 8. But is it true? No, it is not true. The second largest element is 6, right? So we need to return 6 instead of 8. But how do I know that 6 is the second largest element? So for that, what we'll do is rewrite the algorithm instead of writing it as return the n minus 2 element. Instead of writing it like this, we will take, wait a second, we will take n minus 1 element as largest, right? So how can I declare it? So let us take largest is equal to array of n minus 1 and iterate iterate from n minus 2 to 0. So let me write the loop for int I is equal to n minus 2, I is greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So if array of I is lesser than largest, then we need to break there itself, right? So we need to break there itself. Answer is equal to array of I and break the loop here. And at the last, return the answer. Now, this is the brute force solution. But how can I come up with the optimal one, right? Let's come up with the optimal approach. The first thing, to know the second largest, let me uh, let me let me find out largest element first. Largest element. So we are discussing the second largest element in array. So this is the problem, right? So second largest element in array, right? So let me find out largest element. If I get an element lesser than second largest then then sorry, if I get element lesser than largest, so if I get an element lesser than 8, that means if I get a 6, then change second largest to that number. Let me explain it clearly for you. So let me take 1, 3, 5, 8, 8 and then 6. Let me take the largest element and second largest. Let me take it as SEC. Largest is equal to now second largest is initialized as -1 and the largest is also initialized as -1. Now largest is -1. Let me go to this one, right? So then largest will be 1. Then let us go to 3. Now 3 is greater than largest and also greater than second largest. So what I'll do, I'll change this one to second largest. So the largest will become, let me tell you, this is, let me write it over here. So second largest element in an array, in an array, right? Second largest element in an array. So largest is now 1 and the second largest is 3. Largest is 3 and second largest is 1. Sorry. Largest is 3 and the second largest is 1. Now let me go to 5. 5 is greater than the largest and also second largest. So uh, 3 will be our second largest and largest will be 5 and second largest will be 3. Now let me go to 8. Now 8 is greater than largest and also second largest. So largest is equal to 8 and second largest, the largest will become the second largest. So second largest is 5. Now I have this 8. No need to change anything. Why? Because 8 is not greater than 8. So let me go to the next element 6. Now 6 is not greater than largest, but it is greater than second largest. So what we'll do is sorry, largest is 8 and we'll just change the second largest to 6. So we'll just return the second largest at the end. Now, how do I write the code for this? Second largest element in an array. So the first thing is we'll be having an array, right? So we'll initialize largest is equal to -1 and second largest is also equal to -1. Now, first thing, I'll iterate through the array int I is equal to 0, I is less than n is nothing but the size of array. Now, if array of I is greater than array of I is greater than largest and also array of I is also greater than second largest, then then what we need to do, second largest will take the value of largest and largest is equal to array of I. Now we have this if condition. Next is else if array of I is only greater than second largest, then we need to change the second largest is equal to array of I, right? So here the loop ends and at the last we will print the second largest, right? So this is how we solve this problem, right? So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. So this will take the time complexity of big O of n and the space complexity. We are not taking any extra space other than largest and second largest. So let's do the code for this, right? So we are having these elements. Let us just change the elements like this. We are having the elements, the first elements as 1358886, 13588 and then 6. Now we are iterating, right? So but before that I need to initialize int largest is equal to -1 and second largest is also equal to -1. Now if array of I is greater than largest and also array of I is greater than second largest, then then change the second largest to largest, right? And largest will become array of I. Now after that, else if array of I is only greater than second largest, then second largest is equal to array of I. That's it. C out instead of NL, let us print second largest, right? Let me just do the run for this. I'm just running the code here. So it is saying that the second largest is also 8, but there is an error here. Array of I is greater than second largest. Okay. Here array let me do a dry run. Why I am getting the error? Let me tell you why I am getting the error here. So I have took one, wait a second, 1358886, 1358886. Now largest is -1, second largest is also -1. Let me come to here 1. So largest will become 1 and second largest will take the value of largest, which is -1. Now it will come here 3. So second largest will be 1 and the largest will be 3. Now I'll go to 5. So the largest will be 3 and the second largest will be 5. Now I'll go to 8. So the largest will be 5 and the second largest will be 5 and the largest will be 8. Now I am going to 8 again. Here array of I is greater than largest and should also be greater than second largest. It is not greater than largest. 8 is not greater than 8. So it will skip and it will check for else if array of I is greater than second largest. Array of I, this 8, is it greater than second largest? Yes. 8 is greater than 5. So it is initializing 8 to second largest. So I should not do this. So for that, I need to again add a condition, which is nothing but array of I is not equal to largest. Let me add that condition and let me check whether it is giving me the right answer or not. And array of I is not equal to sorry, largest, right? That's what I wrote here. Yes. So it will give me, I think, the right answer. So it is giving me the answer as 5, but not 6. The answer should be 6, but it is giving me 5. So let me do that dry run again. So array of I is not equal to largest. Array of I is greater than second largest. Yes. And array of I is not equal to largest. Then only second largest is equal to array of I. Then I will go to 6 here. Now array of I is greater than second largest and array of I is not equal to largest. Right, then second largest will be equal to array of I. Let me just print every time the largest and second largest. See out largest and also second largest, right? Just print a new line. Let me just run this code. I think there is an error here that is causing me. In the logic we are correct, -1 3 8 and then 5. It is not updating. If you see, is less than 5, but if you see the main error which I did here is going till n, right? But n is 5, right? So it is going till only 8. It is not going till here. So I need to change the n value to 6. Now we'll get the right answer. So the first error which I did, so here I got the second largest element as 6. So the first error which I did is not adding this condition. Wait a second. Not adding this condition, array of I is not equal to largest. So that's where I got the error. Now let's go with the next one, which is nothing but two sum operation, two sum problem, right? We can find out this two sum problem in many uh, wait a second, in many coding platforms like lead code gigs for gigs and so on. So the two sum problem says the two sum problem states about two sum problem two sum problem states about we are given an array given an array of positive integers and a target. There are two types of problems. Return true if two elements two elements add to target, else return false. Now if no there will be no condition like if there will be two elements which sum up to target. So return indices which sum whose elements sum to target, right? So so the first type is will be returning bool. Here we'll be returning a pair of int comma int. Let us just return the vector of int instead of pair of int. Vector of int, right? So there are two versions of this problem. Given an array of positive integers and a integer target, right? Let us take an example. Here array is given as 1 9 5, 2, 8, and then 7. Now, the target is given as 9, right? So, we can look at the problem and we can say that 2 and 7 add to the target. But how can we code this up? What is the brute force solution which we can get instantly? So the brute force is nothing but the solution which we come across without worrying about the time and space complexity. Now, the brute force, let's go with the brute force solution. So the brute force is, I'll go with I and also j. J will start from I plus 1 and I'll be fixed here, and j will be iterating from I plus 1 till n less than n. So if array of I plus array of j is equal to sum, then return true if it is version 1, or we can return I comma j, right? So if array of I is equal to I plus array of j is equal to sum, we just need to return, right? So first thing, we'll be using two loops, right? I will be starting from 0 and j will be starting from I plus 1. Now I will go till less than n, and also j will go till less than n, j plus plus and also I plus plus. So we'll be having two loops here, and that's it. If it is not found, there is no element like that, then we'll be returning no two elements which add up to target, so we'll be returning false there itself. Now let us solve this to some problem in lead code. I've solved it already. So we need to return the elements indices which sum to target, right? So let me just reset and stopwatch, right? No need of this stopwatch. So first thing, int n, I'm just initializing int n is equal to nums dot size, right? And then I'll iterate for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, and for int j is equal to I plus 1, j is less than n, and j plus plus, wait a second, j is less than n, j plus plus, right? So first thing, if array of I plus array of j is equal to target, then we'll just return I comma j, I comma j. So if not, we'll be returning an empty vector of int. I'm just running the code. Let me see whether it is right or wrong. It is not array, right? So it is not array. Instead, we are given with nums. So nums of array, nums of I plus nums of j, if it is equal to target, let me just submit it. It has accepted with these three test cases. So yes, it got accepted, but there will be a better approach than this. So why I'm saying that there will be a better approach than this? Why? Because if you see here, i'm taking I'm taking this will be iterated for n minus 1 times, and for every I will be iterating with big O of n. Now big O of n into big O of n will give us a time complexity of big O of n square. Now what is the space complexity we are using? We are using just big O of 1, right? So the time complexity is big O of n square and the space complexity is big O of 1. But we need to reduce it. We need to reduce the time complexity, right? So from big O of n square, can we reduce the time complexity? Let us see. Now, here comes the hash map into picture, right? So we'll be using the hash map to get the better approach. Let me just write it over here. So let's go with better approach. Better approach. So the approach is by using hash map. using hash map, right? So so will be if you see, let me just write the logic first. We are having 195,287, 195,195,287. So if you see, when I am at 1, 1 needs 8 to get 9. So what if we store 1, right? 1 before we get before we get to element 8. So what I'll do, I'll just store the indices where the elements are present. So 1, 9, 5, 2, 8, 7. Now we just iterate through it. First thing, we just iterate through it. So 195,287. First thing, our hash map will be empty. Our hash map will be empty, right? Now I'll iterate from 1. Here I have 1. When I have 1, 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. Nothing but difference is equal to 9 minus 1, that is equal to 8. I will search for 8 in the whole hash map, but the hash map is empty. So let's go to the next element. But before going to the next element, what I'll do, I got this one. Where? I got this one at index 0. So I'll store the element and the index, right? So this is how it will be stored in the key value pairs, like key value pairs in the hash map. Now I will go to 9. So the difference is 9 minus 9, which is 0. I'll search for 0. Do I have a 0 here? No. I doesn't have any key with value 0. Now I have this 9, right? So 9 is present at index 1. Now let me go to 5. So the difference is target minus array of I. Nothing but 9 minus 5 is equal to 4. I'll search for 4 in the hash map. Do I have a 4 in the hash map? No. Now the difference, the array element is 5. 5 is present at index 2. Now let me go to the next element 2, right? So the difference is 9 minus 2, which is 7. Do I have a 7 here? So we are just solving the to some problem here, to some problem here, to some problem, right? So do I have a 7 in the hash map? No, I doesn't have. So 2 is stored at the index 3 with the index 3. Now let me go to the next element, 8. So the difference is 9 minus 8, which is nothing but 1. Do I have a 1 in my hash map? Yes, of course I have a 1 in hash map. Where? Index 0, right? 1 is storing index 0. So what I need to return? I will return, if I name it as MP. So I'll just initialize MP, right? So what I'll do, I'll just, first thing, I'll just take, I'll just take the element, right? Here the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just return 4, 4, nothing but I. And also, where is this 1 present? 1 is nothing but the difference, right? So code for to some better approach with hash map, hash map, right? So code for to some with better approach, right? So the first thing is I'll initialize an ordered map, int comma int, and let me name it as mp. Now int n is equal to nums dot size. So the first thing, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, first thing is calculating the difference. Difference is equal to target minus array of I. If I find out if mp dot find difference, if I find out the difference in my unordered map mp dot end, then we'll just return I, nothing but the index, the current index, and also mp of difference. So this is the vector of int we are just returning. If not, mp of array of I, the element stores the index, right? So if not, we'll just return the empty string. We'll just do the same code in the uh, lead code, right? So in this lead code coding platform, right? So we'll need to initialize unordered map, unordered map int mp. Now if mp, but before that I need to get the difference, right? Int difference is equal to int difference is equal to target minus nums of I. If mp dot find uh, nums sorry mp dot find difference is not equal to mp dot end, that means I got the difference. So I got the difference present in the unordered map, then we'll just return the I comma mp of difference. Now if not, we'll just return the empty array, but before that mp of sorry nums of I uh, is is equal to I. Let me just do a run for this. Yes, it got accepted. I have just submitted the code. Yes, it is taking, if you see, it is taking big O of n time complexity. Let me just write it over here. So it is just this loop is taking big O of n time complexity. So the time complexity has reduced from big O of n squared to big O of n. What is the space complexity we are using unordered map mp? So it is taking big O of n. What if we can reduce from big O of n to lesser? So we can just do that, right? Here comes the optimal approach for to some problem, right? So I'm just drawing a line here. Now what is the optimal approach? Optimal approach for to sum. So what is the optimal approach? So what if we have this array elements in an ascending order 195287, right? 195287. If you see, if I sort the array elements, then I'll get 1 2 5 7 8 and then 9. Now if I take by two pointer approach, two pointer approach two-pointer approach. So I'll take the elements here, left and right. This is my left and this is my right. So nums of L plus nums of R is giving me 10, which is greater than the target which we need, right? So we need to reduce it. How can I reduce it? So this is the largest element. So if I reduce this element, then I'll go to 8. So if if the sum is greater than the target, then just decrement R. But if the sum is less than the target, then increment L. But if sum is equal to target, then return return L comma R, right? So what we are just doing, while L is less than R, that's it. L is equal to 0 and R is equal to n minus 1. Now while L is less than R, if sum is equal to target, return L comma R. Now what is sum? Sum is nothing but nums of L, nums of L plus nums of R, right? So we'll be doing this, but wait a second, can we do this, right? I think this can make me a time limit exceeded problem. Let us see why. But before that, uh, int L is equal to 0, R is equal to n minus 1, while L is less than R. First thing, int sum is equal to nums of L plus nums of R. So the first thing is, if sum is equal to target, then return L comma R there itself. Else if sum, wait scan, sorry. So if sum, it was by mistake. If sum is, let us say, it is greater than the target, then R minus minus. Else if sum is lesser than target, then L plus plus. If not, we'll be returning this thing, right? It might give me, yes, 2 3 4. It will be initialized like 2 3 4. So in sum is equal to nums of L plus nums of R, expected 1 comma 2. So we are just saying that return L comma R. Let us say this as nums of L in MB and nums of R in MB. We are just storing the indices of every element. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, uh, MB of nums of I is equal to I. I think it's clear for you, right? No, it's again an error in MP of nums of L, right? Nums, so it is giving me an empty output 3. So but yes, we have forgot to sort the array, right? So sort nums dot begin and nums dot end. So we are just running the code. No, 1 comma 1, we got 1 comma 1. No, less than, while L, no. So we cannot do this by using unordered map, right? So we cannot sort it in this way. So we need to go with the only hash map approach instead of this two pointer approach, right? So why? Because this 3 is having 1. This 3 is having 1 instead of 0. So we can also have duplicates. So that's why we cannot use this two pointer approach and also store this instance in the unordered map. But we can use this if all the elements are unique. So let's just take a 5 minutes break. It's 8, no, it's 9 already. It's already been 1 hour, I think, 45 minutes, right? So I have gone with 45 minutes. Let us just take a small break. We have done with the arrays. Now we'll be going with the another topic, but before that, let me just take a 5 minutes of break and we'll be continuing, or we'll be starting this again at 9:10 p.m. Right? So after this arrays, we'll be having after the second largest element and also the two sum, we'll be going with longest palindromic substring. So we'll be going with the brute force solution first. Let us just go and search for this longest palindromic substring. right? So what is it given? Given a string S, return the longest palindromic substring in S is equal to BA BAD. So BAB is the substring. We should get the palindromic substring, longest palindromic substring. Not only the size, not about the size, we'll be having the palindromic substring, right? So yes, the streams, there is an error, I think, is lower than the recommended bitrate we recommend used. So let me change this. I think it will be here, bitrate. So let me just take a 5 minutes of break. So yes, it is bitrate of 2500 kbps. You to use a stream bitrate of 6800 kbps. 6800 kbps. Okay, apply. Okay, the streams current is okay. Let us see again. So we'll be starting this at restarting this at no. Let us apply this 6800. Yes, I think it's okay. So the arrays itself is taking me like 1 hour. It has took me 1 hour. Like one I just solved only less problems. Right? We just solved two problems, and let us see what's the subscriber count. Yes, we have got more, just two subscribers. So I'm just targeting like 800 subscribers, right, before we end this live session. So it's 762. We just need like 38 subscribers more. Yes. So we'll be starting this live session, starting this live session again in just 1 minute, right? So everything is perfect about this. Go live. Yes, the excellent connection, right? Let us see about the stream health. So we'll be starting this live, resuming this live. So let me just introduce a poll, I think, community timestamps reaction forward. So which topic you you want me to dive deep in next live session? First thing is it might be dynamic programming, and the second thing trees, and another option graphs, and I think it's enough, right? For now it might be enough. Graphs, DP, and trees, these are the uh, most like a hard problems. Most of the hard problems contains these topics. So I'm just starting this poll. So let me know which one you need uh, to you want me to dive deep in the next live session, right? Okay. So it's already 9:11. Now let us come up with the longest palindromic substring problem. BABAD, written the length, longest palindromic substring, right? Let's look at this like this. Okay, we are asked with longest palindromic palindromic substring. So we are given with a string S. We just need to return the longest palindromic substring, right? So how can we come up with a solution for this? So if anyone is having any doubt or any thoughts for this, please let me know. So I'm just going with the brute force one first, right? So as usually, the brute force solution first will be prioritized. So the brute force approach is nothing but I'll just generate all substrings, all substrings, all substrings, and check check whether the substring is palindrome, right? So if so, increase. So if so, we'll just update the longest palindrome. Update longest palindrome, right? So the first thing, generate all substrings. How can I generate all substrings, right? For that, I'll just use a two loops for that. So for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. Now the size will be from for int size is equal to 1 and size is less than, how big the size can go, right? So let us take like a string here. Wait a second, let us take ABC BABAD. Now let us say that we are here. Now we can go with size 1, size 2 and size 3. That's it. We cannot go till the size of this, right? So if I give the size of n, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now n is 8. 8 minus 5 is 3. So I can go till n minus I. So I'll write it over here. So size can be less than, not less than, right? N minus, it can go till 3. So n minus, what is 5 here? 5 is nothing but I. So n minus I is 3. So it is saying that less than 3 is nothing but 1 and 2. So we'll just place an equal to so that size can go till 3, right? So I got the size. Now we need to generate the substring. We need to create a substring. So for that we'll use a standard template library function to get a to get the substring of a string starting from an index I and with a size of sz. So we'll just create string temp is equal to s dot substring. So we are starting with the index I and the size sz. So if palindrome of temp, if temp is a palindrome, then we'll just update, right? If temp is a palindrome and also let me tell you, and also temp dot size is greater than answer dot size. So the answer is will be an empty string. Firstly, this is the answer will be uh, returning at the end. So the answer is empty. Now, if palindrome of temp, that means the string is a palindrome, and temp dot size, that means the size is also greater, then answer is equal to temp, right? So this is how we get the longest palindrome. Now, return the answer at the end. But before that, we need to write the palindrome function. Bool palindrome of string s. String s. First thing, the characters should be matching, right? So let me just take an example. A, B, C, D, E. This is L and this is R. So if they both are equal, then only go to the next element. And if they both are at the same index, then stop there itself. So while but before that L is equal to 0, R is equal to N minus 1. So N is equal to S dot size. Now, while L is less than R, if it is equal to, then no need to check that. It will be equal always, right? So, if S of L is not equal to S of R, then return false there itself. If not, we'll be returning true at the end. Now, let me write this palindrome function first, bool palindrome function first, right? So, first bool palindrome string s int n is equal to s dot size int l int l wait a second int l is equal to 0, r is equal to n minus 1, while l is less than r. If s of l is not equal to s of r, return false there itself. Is if not, return true. But before that, we are not incrementing the l and also decrementing the r. So for that, l plus plus r minus minus, we also need to code that here. L plus plus, wait a second, l plus plus and r minus minus. Now let me just code it for the main function. String answer is equal to an empty string. Now int n is equal to s dot size. For int sz, first thing, int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. For int z is equal to 1, sz is less than or is equal to n minus I, right? Sz is less than or equal to n minus I and sz plus plus. Now string, wait a second, string temp is equal to s dot substring of I comma z. Now, now I need to write it. If this temp string, if palindrome of temp, and if it is a palindrome and temp dot size is greater than answer dot size, then answer is equal to temp, right? At the last, we'll be returning the answer string. Let's just run the code. Yes, it got accepted for these two test cases, but for this it might give me a TLE, right? Yes, it is giving me a TLE. Why? Because we are going with big O of n here, and also here we are going with big O of n, and also every time here big O of n. Now this string is also uh, checked for a palindrome. So totally it is giving me of big O of n square. But if you see, we are just taking the big O of n and also calling for is palindrome function. So it will give me a big of n cube. So for that we need to reduce this into a somewhat better approach. So for that we'll be using expanding. A better approach is, let me tell you, what is this better approach, right? What is the better approach? So the better approach includes, the first thing is to get the elements, right? So if I am having b a b a d, now I'll start with this b and go to the right and also left. If these two, if this one and also this one is equal, I'll just increment the answer by 2, right? So the problem is here with the event size. If it is odd, we'll just start here. But what if it is in odd length? So that's where the problem gets more, right? So how can we solve this problem? By using by expanding, right? So let us see how can we solve this. So first thing, I'll go from for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus for even, right? Now what it is about the odd. Now I'll write for the odd one first and then the even one first. So if these two elements are equal, then I'll just increment the answer by 2. This is for odd, right? So first thing, the result string will be empty and the result length is also 0. Now I'm writing this for odd length. Let me just take it over here. Odd length, right? First thing, I'm just, wait a second. I'm just taking this odd here, right? It has just struck, but I need to write it for odd and then I'll write for the even length. How can we get the longest palindromic substring for even length? Now let us write it for odd length first. So the first thing here, if you see, I'll be having L is equal to I, left pointer is equal to I, and right pointer is also equal to I. Now while I is greater than or equal to 0 and R is less than N, and also S of L is equal to S of R. So if these three conditions meet, then then if R minus L plus 1, if the size is greater than result length, what we need to do is just change the result. We will just change the result string to S dot substring from L, starting from L and with a size of R plus 1. Let me tell you how. So imagine the L is here and R is here, right? So wait a second, if it is R, sorry, it will be, let us see. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us just imagine like this. No, it will be till only uh, 2, 3, 4. So here is my R and here is, it will be L. Now starting at L, what is the size? Size is 5, nothing but R minus L plus 1, right? 4 minus 0 plus 1. So the size will be R minus L plus 1, right? So if R minus L plus 1 is greater than result length, then S dot substring starting with L and going till R minus L plus 1. Now L minus minus and R plus plus. So this is how we write for odd length. Now how do we write for the even length? So for the even length, we'll write by while L is equal to L is greater than or equal to 0 and R is less than N, and S of L is equal to S of R. Now if R minus L plus 1 is greater than result length, we need to update the result length, right? Result length is equal to R minus L plus 1. Now if it is greater than result length, result is equal to S dot substring L comma R minus L plus 1, right? Now result length is equal to R minus L plus 1 again. Now after that, L minus minus and R plus plus. So this is how we solve this problem, and then close the loop and then return the result at the end. So this is how we solve the longest palindromic substring, right? Now let's go to the another problem. Let's go to the another problem, or we'll be going to the next topic here. We'll be going to the next topic here. So let's just take let's just take a small break of 3 minutes, right? We'll be solving about the linked list problems now. So we'll be going with the intro of the linked list first. Linked list, right? So linked list, linked list. So we'll be starting this in just 3 minutes, right? In just 2 minutes. So if anyone didn't subscribe to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. We'll be having the DSA content every day, and these live sessions will be there uh, 2 days for every 2 days, right? So if anyone is new for our channel, we'll be having the DSA content every day. It's or I'll be assuring this. So the target I have put, I don't know whether I reach the target or not. I'm just targeting about 800 subscribers till I end this session, right? Yes. Let's go with the linked list after 2 minutes. Let's just take a break of 2 minutes. So I have also invited the poll, right? Which topic you want me to dive deep in next live session? Is it a dynamic programming or trees or graphs? Right? 3 votes. Yes. It has given me like dynamic programming is, yes, it is also an important thing, or what I need to say, important topic for hard problems. Many of the hard problems include this dynamic programming approach. So in the next session, it will be completely about a dynamic programming instead of this arrays and then a longest palindromic substring and then this linked list. So it will be about only this dynamic programming. So yes. So we just need 38 subscribers more to hit 800 subscribers, today's target. Now, let us come up with a linked list. What is a linked list first? Let us understand what is a linked list. So let me initialize int n is equal to int n is equal to 10, right? Now, I'm just saying that int asterisk. We are calling this as asterisk. Int asterisk x is equal to ampersand n. Now here if you see x, let's say that n is stored in a memory block 0x152, something like the memory block is like this 0x152. It is stored at 0x152. N is stored here. Now I am saying that x is equal to ampersand n, nothing but x stores the memory of where the n is present, the memory block address. X stores the memory block address, right? So this is how we introduce about the linked list. Let us go deep into this linked list. First thing, whenever it is a linked list, just take that linked list as something like a train. Now we have this train, right? I think it will be something like this. We have this train and this head, I'm saying this as head, it is connected to another, what I need to say, compartment, no, like whatever it might be, it is connected to another berth or something like that. In Telugu we call it as bogie, right? So another bogie at all. So this is another one. So this is connected to the end and we'll be calling this as tail. And if you see at the end of this train, we are able to see this this thing as X mark. Nothing but this tail or this one is connected to nothing. So further to resemble that, we'll be using this X mark. So the same thing will be happening with the linked list, right? So wait a second. Instead, yes. So the same thing will be happened with the linked list. Now we'll be introducing with the linked list and we'll continue with the problems the next day, tomorrow, right? Wait a second. Tomorrow we'll be continuing with the linked list, right? So how can we initialize a linked list? So to initialize a linked list, we just need to know the struct, right? Struct will be used. Struct of node. So struct of node, here we'll be using the struct of node, and if anyone calls for this node to be implemented, then we'll be calling like this. The first thing which we'll be calling is int data. We'll be initializing int data, right? We'll be initializing int data and also the next pointer. Now you need to know that here if I am having 1, 5, 3 and then 7, and then it will be connected to null pointer, nothing but a null pointer. Now one's next pointer is pointing to this node, 5's next pointer is pointing to this node 3, this next pointer is pointing to 7, and this is pointing to null pointer if you see. So the next of 1 is 5, next of 5 is 3, next of 3 is 7. So struct node int data, right? And also we'll be storing, for now, if you see, for now, int of this x is used to store the memory address of n. Sorry, I've been suffering from cold, right? So n is integer data type, so that's why we have used integer data type and put an asterisk to store this memory block. Now, to store a node, we'll be using node of next. Now, node of, if we are given with int, wait a second. If we are given with data1, we are given with the data1 and also the next pointer, node next 1, then data will be equal to data1 and next will be equal to next 1, right? And the next thing is node int data. What if we are given with only data, right? So data will be initialized to data 1 and the next will be initialized to null pointer if there is only one node is given. We are not given with the next data next node, right? Now the next thing, let's go with how can we Ambari Dinesh. Hi bro. Hi. Thanks for attending this live session. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat, right? So we have initialized this node, struct of node, right? Now let us see how can we solve reversing a linked list. Reverse linked list. Reverse the linked list. How can we reverse the linked list? So the first so the approach is how can we reverse the linked list? That's what the problem is. Problem states, right? So we are given with 1 3 5 and then 7 and then it is connected to the null pointer. So what stack approach? Let's go with the stack approach first, right? Stack approach. The first stack approach is how can we do that, right? So I'm having this head pointer. I'll just take temp is equal to head. Now this temp will go to the next and then next and then next and then next, stop when it is a null pointer, right? So while temp is not equal to null pointer. Now I said that I'll be using a stack. Why? Because first thing 1 and then temp goes here. This will be our temp. Temp data will be 3 and then next temp will be going to temp next. Then here I'll be having 5. Temp will be going to next temp next, nothing but here I have 7. Now it is going to the null pointer. It stops here, right? So we'll be initializing stack of int st. So st dot push temp data and temp will be changed to temp next. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat and also participate in this poll, right? So the next one which we need to go with, right? Which topic we need to dive deep into? Dynamic programming, graphs or trees. So I have this stack. Now let me just take this stack and create another. I'll create another linked list from this. Now, instead of creating another linked list, can I just change the data, right? So, while stack is not empty, stack is not empty, first thing, temp will be initialized to head again. Now, temp data is equal to st.top. It is just storing the values, right? Now st.pop, that means the first the topmost element from the stack is removed and temp is equal to temp next. And here also temp is not pointing to the null pointer. Temp is not equal to null pointer, right? So return the head, then we'll be returning the answer itself, right? So let us code this here. So the first thing what I have used here, right? I am using a stack, that's it. So just give me a second, right? So if anyone is having any doubts or anyone wants any guidance on DSA or a roadmap, you can just ask me in the live chat. So stack of int, and I am naming it as st, right? Now while temp, right? So list node of list node of temp is equal to head, right? While this temp is not equal to null pointer temp is not equal to null pointer st dot push temp data, then temp is equal to temp next, then temp is equal to head again, right? We have a stack with all the elements. Now while stack is not empty and also temp is not equal to null pointer, then temp data is equal to st dot top and st dot pop. That means the topmost element is removed. Then temp is equal to temp of next, then return head. Let's see whether it runs or not. We are using a stack which takes big of n. Temp data, sorry, here it should be value. There is nothing like data again, sorry, temp value. And is it next? Yes, it is next there. So we are just, yes, let me just uh, submit the code. It got accepted. But here we are using stack. Wait a second. The time complexity which takes here is big of n plus big of n. Why? Because we are iterating through the linked list first to push into the stack and also again to pop from the stack and push that into the temp. Now the space complexity we are using big of n for initializing the stack. Now how can we just optimize it? Optimized, right? Let us take only one element and let's take that as temp, and this is our next node and this is our previous node. Now the link from temp next should be it is the original order is like this. Now temp next should be previous, right? Temp next should be previous, but next node is nothing but temp next. We are just reversing a linked list. Reverse linked list. We are just reversing a linked list, right? Now we are having these three. I'm just taking these three, right? Next node is equal to temp of next. Yes, this have initialized. Now I have this previous. Okay, I have this previous. Okay, now now temp next will be changed to previous. Okay, temp next will be changed to previous. Now previous will be our temp and previous will be changed to temp. Previous will be changed here, it will be our previous, and our temp will be next node. Now this will be our temp. Now here it will be having another node. No, it is not the next. Here it is not like this. Now I have this temp. Now same thing, next node is equal to temp next. This will be our next node. Now temp next is equal to previous. Here this is our previous, so temp next is equal to previous. Now previous is equal to temp, so here will be our previous. Now temp is equal to next one. Now temp is equal to here. Now here this next is changed to here, so I have this temp here, so it will be changed in the same way. But the problem here I might face is how can I initialize. Let's initialize a dummy node. Let us initialize a dummy node, right? So list node dummy is equal to new list list node of -1. I have this dummy. Now our previous list, wait a second, list node of previous is equal to our dummy. Now temp will be the list node again. List node of temp is equal to the head, right? Now while temp is not equal to null pointer, temp is not equal to null pointer, we'll go through temp next every time. But list node list, okay, will get the last element as temp, right? No, previous will be returned. Okay, at the last we need to return the previous. List node of next node is equal to temp next. Now temp next is equal to previous. Yes, now previous is equal to temp and temp is equal to next node. Now temp is equal to temp next. Now I have previous, so I'll just return the previous. I'm just running the code. Let me check whether it runs or not. No, temp is equal to temp next. No, it should be temp should be not temp next. It is going to the null pointer. It should be temp. No, I'm doing the same thing again, right? So no need of changing the temp to temp next, right? I'm just having this -1. Okay, I'm just having this -1 everywhere. Okay, is equal to dummy. So I should not create this. Uh, so let us say our temp is head next. Okay, list node temp is equal to head next, and previous is nothing but our head, right? Okay, let me just run this. No, it is giving me the wrong runtime error. This node previous is equal to head. Yes, we are at head. Now temp is equal to head next. Yes, we are at head next. Now next node is equal to temp next, while temp is not equal to null pointer. Now temp next is equal to previous. Yes, temp next is equal to previous. I don't think there will be an error here, right? So if you knew what is the error in this code, please let me know in the live chat, right? So we are going with this. We have 4 ports, right? Yes. If you are having any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. Right? Okay. There is an error here. If you well knew about this, please let me know in the live chat. Right? So, yes. If you are having any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. And if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to our channel. Right? Here, if you see, the head is not pointing again, right? So let us just change it to null pointer, and temp is given as head. Instead of taking it as head next, let's take it as head. Now, while temp is not is equal to null pointer, the next node will be temp next, and temp next will be the previous, and previous is equal to temp, and temp is equal to next node. So instead of starting the previous with head, we'll just take the if you see here, this is our head, and then next, and then next. So this need to be pointed here, right? So this should be our previous. So that's why previous is initialized with null pointer. Okay, let me just run this. Let me see if there is any error. Right, there is no error. Let me just submit it. So yes, it got accepted. Now, in today's live session, we have gone with the following things. First thing, array introduction, right? This is the first thing, and then second largest element in array, and then to some problem, then longest palindromic subsequence, substring, longest palindromic substring, and then uh, longest palindromic substring, and then we went with the linked list introduction, and then reverse a linked list. So if you want any sorry, if you want anything to be repeated, or if you want any other topic to be covered, please let me know in the live chat, and if you have any doubts, please let me know it too. Yes. If you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. Yes. So in the next thing we'll be going with the uh, DB dynamic programming, right, in the next live session. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. We'll be ending this live in just 4 minutes at 10 p.m. right? Let us see whether do we have a counter timer for time. Let us see. Online time. Yes, we are having this. Yes. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. So we'll be ending this in 5 minutes. We'll end this in just 5 minutes. So if you have any doubts or if you want anything, any other topic to be covered, so we have covered all these topics in today's live session. You can rewatch this live array intro. We have covered the array intro, and we have covered the second largest element, and also the do sum problem with the brute force, and also hash map, and also the two pointer approach. Right. Now, we have also covered the longest palindromic substring, and then we have covered the linked list intro, and then the reverse a linked list. So, if you want any topic to be covered in the next live session, which will be in next 2 days, so please let me know in the live chat. So, it should be an interactive session. So, please let me know in the live chat. Right. And also, I think I have given the poll. I think the poll is yes, poll is live. No, yes, the poll is live. So we can participate in this poll, and uh, we need more subscribers so that I can grow this channel and do more live sessions like this. So the target to before I end this session is 800 subscribers before I end this session. So we'll be ending this session in just 3 minutes 25 seconds, and if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat, right? Let us just create this. Yes, uh, Ambari Dinesh. So hi bro, hi, and welcome to this live session. We just have 2 minutes left. If you are having any doubts, so this is just will be winding up this session, right? So if you have any doubts, just ask me in the live live chat, right? So if you want anything to be repeated or anything like that, please let me know. So the text is very large. I'm just making it short. Let me remove it. Yes, we have just covered all these topics. Array intro, second largest element, right? Let me write it. Second largest element, and two pointer, and palindromic substring. So we have covered all this in this live session. And if you want anything, any other thing to be, so if you have any doubts, even the contest problems or any other problem, you can share it here. You can just ask me in the live chat, right? I'll try my best to get you the problem understand, right? So we'll be ending this session in just 1 minute. Yes, we'll be ending this session. So, however, we didn't meet our target of 800 subscribers, but we have at least tried. We just have 48 seconds, and if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat, right? And we'll be covering the daily topics, and also I'll be uploading the lead code POTD every day, and you'll get a at least a live session or a video from our channel. So that's an assurance from my side. I'll make every day a video or a live session, so you can interact with me every day, right? So we'll be ending this session, and if you have any doubts, you can contact me, right? You can contact me from the YouTube, or you can follow me in LinkedIn. Yes, yes. So if you have any doubts, I think I have also given the Instagram profile page, right? Let me just say that Insta. No, I need to open this. So you can just, this is my profile, right? R Sai Sidhu. You can just uh, ask any doubts, or you can just contact me there by just sending a connection request, and I'll accept whoever it might be, and also send me the direct message there, and we'll be having this code father dot c plus plus WhatsApp channel. I think it is not visible, right? No, it is not visible in Google, right? But you can go here, and you can just click on subscribe button, and it will directly open our YouTube channel, right? So I have done more than 300 videos on lead code, and also I think I just made one video on CodeChef, and also no, not CodeChef, Code Forces. One video explanation on Code Forces, and the another video on Geeks for Geeks about trapping rainwater, right? So we just need, yeah, excuse excuse me, 800 subscribers before we end this session, right? So we'll just reset it, and we'll be ending this live session in 5 minutes, right? Yes, if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. Yes, yes, we'll be ending this live session in just 4 minutes, right? So today we have covered all these topics: array intro, second largest element. We have solved that second largest element by brute force, and also the optimal approach. Brute force and optimal approach, right? So if you are having any doubts, or you want me to explain any other topic, please let me know in the live chat. Yes, we'll be ending this in just 3 minutes. And I think I also shared you with the Instagram in a description, I think. Yes, I've shared you with the code in GitHub and also the problem, right? So I think this is the yesterday's problem, and I have shared you with the fever WhatsApp channel. So this is our WhatsApp channel, and I have shared you with the top mate link. So uh, I'll be going with the one-on-one DSA sessions, right? So Ask a Doubt is just a free session for 10 minutes, and DSA for students is just 60 minutes video meeting and 6 months weekly DSA mentorship. And I'll be contacting with you or making a one-on-one mentorship on Sundays. That means weekly DSA mentorship, and I'll be sharing you with the assignment every week so that you can complete. And there will be only sorry, there will be only one-on-one sessions, right? So there are only one test models till now. I have only mentored only one member, right? So someone trees 6 votes, 70%, and even dynamic programming is having much priority, much votes, right? So we just stop this live session after 1 minute 22 seconds. But before that, let's go with all this. So this is my GitHub profile. You can go to any video, any latest video in my YouTube description, and you can just join the channel, and you can follow me in Instagram. It is just underscore r underscore s and s and 11. So you can also access the YouTube from here, right? Yes. So we'll be ending this in 47 seconds. And also this is just a a better price for who wants to learn DSA, right? It's just 250 rupees for any topic, right? And also 6 months is 6,000 rupees, right? And this covers all the DSA topics. So we'll be ending this session in 20 seconds. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know, and please do subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned. We'll be having the DSA content and coding content every day. This is my promise for you. Thank you.